greens are at their peak in the autumn. So my vegetable to go with the harvest dinner is braised dandelion greens. To start them off, I like to cook a little pancetta. Pancetta is a lot like bacon. It's the same cut, but it's just not smoked. Pancetta doesn't let off as much fat as bacon when you cook it, so I start the pan with a little oil first, just to get it toasty. A bit of shallot is nice with the dandelion greens too. They soften the bitterness of the greens. I only have about 1.5 tablespoons of oil, so I'll leave that in the pan to cook the shallots. Dandelion greens taste like spinach with oomph. Most hearty greens are sold with the stem end intact. This keeps them fresher longer. A week, even 2 weeks in the refrigerator. This part of the dandelion greens, though, don't become tender when you cook them, so it's just to keep the dandelions fresh. These greens are packed with B vitamins. Just like when you're cooking spinach, it takes about 6 times as much as you think you need to create the servings. It really wilts and melts down as it cooks. On high heat, add the greens, a little salt and pepper, and a few more autumn flavors, a little fresh thyme. To truly braise the dandelion greens, I need to add a liquid so that the steam and moisture melts the dandelion greens, adds flavor, and makes them tender. So a little apple cider does the trick. The apple cider adds a bit of sweetness, but I like to add a few golden raisins to bring out that sweetness. And it softens the bitterness of the greens. Dandelion greens are a little sturdier than spinach greens, so they take a couple minutes to wilt. I don't want to cover the greens though, because that will make them turn brown. While those are cooking, I'll just boil some fingerling potatoes to serve alongside. I like to serve potatoes with salmon. Rice might be the typical accompaniment, but for a harvest dinner, the potatoes are heartier, and I'll simply toss them with some butter and a little salt and pepper. While the greens are braising, at the same time the apple cider is reducing and concentrating the flavor. Well, those raisins are plumping up nicely too in the liquid. I'll add back my crispy pancetta now that the dandelion greens are braised. Let me give one a little taste. See how tender it is. It's nice and soft, it's easy to bite through, but it still has substance. And I also love braising these greens because they hold well, so I can cook them ahead of time and simply rewarm them when it's time to serve. That is a delicious start to our Olson harvest supper. After the potatoes are done, then I have to go to the pumpkin farm for my dessert ingredient. It's really just an excuse to go and play.